The Flash movie is a film that has changed so much over the process of this film's creation. And with this movie actually finally coming out this summer in June, and we're getting our first official trailer tomorrow at the Super Bowl, it's kind of ending up being, okay, this is what the actual version of the movie is going to be. And one of the biggest recent changes we've heard about this film is that since James Gunn took over DC, he changed the ending of the movie. Because apparently originally, this movie would end with Barry basically resetting the DCU, and it would then create this new universe where it's basically the same universe, except Michael Keaton is Batman, and Sasha Calle Supergirl is also part of this new universe as well. So now the new reports are, of course, that James Gunn has changed that so that Michael Keaton and Sasha Calle's characters are not a part of this new universe and they'll still be a part of the movie, they just won't be in this new rewritten universe at the end, which I think makes complete and total sense because he wants to do his own things with these characters. You know, we got Batman, the Brave and the Bold, that movie coming up and all that. So that's going to be super exciting. But then, when it comes to this, okay, if that doesn't happen, then what does happen at the end of this movie? When Barry resets this universe, which James Gunn himself has confirmed that it will reset and kick off the DCU, the DC Cinematic Universe, what will be left? Particularly with Batman, because Batman is the big one. You know, Ben Affleck was Batman in the DCU, then it was supposed to be Michael Keaton, and now he's not going to be the Batman in the DCU, so who will be? Well, we got some new reports, because it all started a couple days ago with a report from Grace Randolph, who said, I hear that it's going to be a former Batman who cameos at the end of The Flash, and could potentially stick around as the new permanent DCU Batman. Damian's dad, Pattinson, is still solo. I know who it is, but it would be uncool to reveal the whole thing. And she does later in the comments reveal that it is one of these three Batmen featured here in this image. Now, if you look at the three Batmen here, that will be Michael Keaton, George Clooney, and Christian Bale. So those are our three options. Again, we already know it's not going to be Michael Keaton, so that already crosses out one. So it's a 50-50% chance. Could be George Clooney, could be Christian Bale. So let's talk about the options. So George Clooney as Batman is one that actually has been supported by a bunch of scoopers, including Casey Walsh. So this is likely to be true, that it would be George Clooney. I think this would be an interesting one, and I think would make a lot of sense because George Clooney is probably one of the most hated Batman just because he's the Batman of Batman and Robin, and that's like the most hated Batman movie. I mean, literally, the bat nipples, you can't get past that. And I really don't think it was George Clooney's fault, but it's funny how all these years later he is apologized for this movie and him playing Batman. That's kind of funny. But now he may be returning to play Batman in this movie and possibly the Batman of the DCU. Now, I don't really know how to feel about that. Some other scoopers have said that supposedly there is going to be a Batman that returns to this film, either George Clooney or Christian Bale, but they're not going to stick around as the main DCU Batman. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work. But there's this really cool artwork that was recently done of George Clooney as Batman, modern day. I mean, he does look like he could be the father of Damian Wayne, so I could totally see that being a possibility, but I don't know. But the other one that I think a lot of people would prefer is Christian Bale as Batman, the Dark Knight himself, one of the most beloved franchises of movies of all time, in general, not even just superhero movies, just all film cinema history. The Dark Knight trilogy is known as one of the best, one of the biggest fan favorite franchises. And so, of course, we would love to see Christian Bale return as the Dark Knight. And I think I've done videos about this on the channel in the past. And if you asked me like a year ago, 2 years ago, about if this is a possibility, I would have said hell no. Because Christian Bale is a very serious actor. He's he's one of those actors like Leonardo DiCaprio, who's very awards driven and really more about the art of acting and filmmaking and less about the making money side of things. So he's not the kind of guy who really would want to do a bunch of superhero movies and who would want to come back as Batman. He even said before that he would not return as Batman unless it was Christopher Nolan directing. Now, the thing is, though, things have changed recently because he played the villain, Gore the God Butcher, in a Marvel movie, Thor Love and Thunder. And he was great in that film. And he's even said since that, spoiler alert for that movie, but Gore did die. But he said that he would love to return and play another completely different character in the MCU. So he clearly has a newfound interest in superhero movies. And I think even if it's just a little cameo in this movie, this would be really, really cool. And again, the possibility of him being the new DCU Batman would be interesting. Again, a fan favorite Batman, bring him in. He's at about the right age to be considered a father of Damian Wayne. So I could totally see that. I mean, just imagine the moment when we could see Christian Bale's Batman and Ezra Miller's Flash together. That would be awesome to see. Not so much the Ezra Miller part, but, Christian Bale's Batman. So I don't really know which one it's going to be, but I feel like this is, with the number of scoopers and reliable sources that are corroborating this news, I feel like this has to be some legitimacy to these reports. Again, I don't know, is it going to be George Clooney? Is it going to be Christian Bale? Is whatever Batman that cameos into this movie, is he going to be the new Batman of the DCU? So guys, of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I keep it up to date on everything goes on in the DC life.